I'm so happy. I mean, I've literally just watched England get absolutely twatted everywhere. I've just watched England get absolutely battered, and I was in a really, really bad mood. I was in a really, really foul state, and then I've just seen this, and oh my god, life's worth living because Florian Wirtz, we've agreed a fee for Florian Wirtz, one of the best players in European football, and we've actually agreed a fee for it. We've spent weeks and weeks and weeks waiting for this and saying, "Oh, when is this going to happen?" We're waiting for this news. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, we've actually agreed a fee, and it's not a Caicedo issue, it's not a Lavia issue, it's not a Bellingham or Chouameni. This is full force. We have agreed a fee for Florian Wirtz, one of the best players in Europe at the moment, and he is going to propel us forward. And I cannot believe that this is actually happening. This is a surreal time to be a Liverpool fan. 150 million with add-ons. I'll go through every comment that comes in, so please get involved. What do you think about Florian Wirtz? I This is the most impromptu. I haven't set up the lights. I haven't set up any topic of conversation. This is the most thrown together stream. I haven't done the tags. I haven't done the hashtags. The comment, like the description of the video, is literally just Florian Wirtz. Subscribe, please subscribe. Get it, lad. Until it's signed and done, I'm waiting. And you know what? I get that. But this is a time to get excited. This is a time to literally scream and shout because Florian Wirtz. Okay, I'll take it back for a moment. I'll calm down for a minute and just say that nothing. This isn't like it's officially done. This isn't like we've gone out and we've officially signed him. Deal's not done yet. The deal's still ongoing. This is just Fabrizio Romano reporting that Liverpool have agreed a fee with Bayer Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz. It's a deal around 150 million euros at the moment. That's what's touted around. What that is in pounds is about 130, just 125 to around 130, that mark. It's big money either way. It shatters our record signing for Darwin Nunez. And even then, Nunez's one was contentious. There were still people saying it was Van Dijk. There were people saying it was Nunez. It shatters the Premier League record. Like, the record was Fernandez, and I think this beats it. This is a statement signing by Liverpool to sign Florian Wirtz, to sign one of the most sought after European commodities. And as a Liverpool fan, I'm not used to seeing this. None of us are. We have not seen Liverpool go out and wholeheartedly compete with Europe's finest in terms of signings. All right, you go back through our history, maybe just in the Premier League era. I don't know what we were doing in the 1890s with regards to this, but you look through the area of the Premier League and the signings we make, they've been opportunistic, they've been forward thinking, they've been futuristic. Salah was not someone that a lot of people were going after. Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, they, massive legends of this club, but they weren't players that were signed, which everyone was after. This is the first player, the real big one, apart from people will say like Fernando Torres. Jabril Cisse at one point was touted by a lot of clubs. A lot of people wanted them. Florian Wirtz is massive for this club, and it's a statement signing that next season we're going fucking nowhere. And next season we're going for number 21, we're going for number 7, we're going for number 11, we're going for every single trophy that we can possibly get our hands on next season. Because to get someone like Wirtz, even though it's not done yet, but I'm just very excited, is massive. It's such a huge statement that this is the player that we've gone after, someone who last season was integral to Bayer Leverkusen's campaign, even though they finished second. The season before, he did the invincible season with Bayer Leverkusen. He scored 16 goals and got 11 assists last campaign from midfield. One of the best link-up players in European football. Like, there's not enough superlatives to explain how excited I am about the prospect of getting Florian Wirtz. But just to say, player side have already agreed 2 weeks ago with the move now imminent. Florian Wirtz has wanted this move for weeks. That's been wholeheartedly passed around every reach of the internet. Everyone's known that Florian Wirtz wants to come to Liverpool. Man City pulled out of him because they couldn't afford him. My bollocks. Bayern Munich, like the German superpower that pretty much every German player at some point wants to play for, couldn't compete with us for him. That's how much of an upward trajectory we're on at the moment. What about if it doesn't work? Not even thinking about it. It will work. It just will. All right. It's 100% going to work. I'm not going to entertain the notion that Florian Wirtz is not going to be a success at Liverpool, because he absolutely is. Apologies again if the cameras go and fuck up. The internet still isn't improved, and I don't know why. Amazing. Where does he play, you think? Look, this is the question that gets passed around. I was willing to die on my hill a few weeks ago that I think Florian Wirtz could easily be a false nine for us. His stats certainly back that up. He's an incredibly creative footballer, very versatile. He's someone who can play in a multitude of positions. Where I think he'll be, I think he's going to be competing on that right-hand side of midfield alongside Szoboszlai, but he's capable of playing on the left. He's able to go out wide and play on the wing if you absolutely need an option there. Like we've seen with Szoboszlai, he's capable of playing through the middle. I wholeheartedly think he'll be a number 10. Even though we don't traditionally play for number 10. I think what I mean by this is, obviously, when we play, we drop into like a double pivot. We see Gravenberch and McAllister go further back, and Szoboszlai stays further forward, or Elliott, if he's the one there, very rarely. That will be Wirtz. He's not going to be someone who comes back and operates in that double pivot. He's going to be someone who stays further forward. John Henry finally found his wallet. It seems so, because we've spent, what, 35 million on Frimpong. Kerkez is close to getting done as well. That's 40. And now Wirtz for about 100. We're pushing the 200 mark already, and we still. This is the first deadline day of the, because all the clubs that pay Saudi oil money needed that little mini transfer window before the Club World Cup. We've blown it out the water. And City have signed Reinders and Cherky and Aiton Yori. We've got Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. And that's just the beginning of the window. What a time to be us. It's mental. Signatures on contracts, yeah, I agree. Look, it's not a definitive. We've not got him at the moment. It's not 100% done and dusted and confirmed. This is just... the fee has been agreed, and that's a massive, massive thing, that the fee has been agreed. And that's something that does need to get mentioned, is we're not completely done. We're not completely, he's not 100% done, dusted in a Liverpool shirt, trying to steal McAllister's number 10. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is just, fee has been agreed. Here we go. And that's the bit, those 3 words. Oh, here we go, amazing. Any updates? I hope you're taking the piss out of me. Let's fucking go. Yeah, is this true or media talking? No. Look, people can say what they want about Fabrizio, about his approach to this. He does sort of spout off a lot of the same things that other people are saying and sort of pass it off as his own. When he does the here we go, I think that's as solid a guarantee as you can get that there is genuine fact to it. I think this is genuine. This has been getting passed around for weeks now. And everything that you hear, even with all the contracts, the fees not being close, and there being discussions about Leverkusen want more and we want to offer less and blah, blah, blah. It's never been a point where anyone's come out and said, Wirtz is having doubts. We're not sure if Florian Wirtz is going to join. This has always been pretty nailed on, and I think it's taken us time to get there, but it's so worth it. It's taken... This wasn't a situation where we could try and cheap our way out of this. This is signing someone who any club would be grateful to have in their team. City, Bayern, us, Madrid. Anyone would be happy to get Florian Wirtz. We couldn't drag our feet with this. We needed to go out and just give them exactly what they wanted, and that's what we've essentially done. You need to do that, because we're wanting to win the Premier League again next season, and we're wanting to go out and really assert ourselves, not just in England, but in Europe again, and push for another Champions League and the Premier League again, defending it for the first time successfully in our Premier League history. we've got to sign these players. We've got to sign people like Florian Wirtz and sign people who are a statement to the rest of Europe that we are not messing around and that we are still going to be here next season. Because we go back to when we won the league last. My hat's a mess. And we signed Simicast, who was a backup left back. Jota, who, yeah, no disrespect to Jota. And with the benefit of hindsight, you can say, well, we didn't necessarily need that position. And Thiago, who, if you drop a biscuit in a cup of tea, it's got more stability than his legs. This is massive. Signing Kerkez is massive. Frimpong is massive. Florian Wirtz blows it out of the stratosphere. This is a mental signing. I'm so happy it's finally over. It's not over yet. Just again, this isn't he's walking through the doors, getting his drone picture taken and having his medical. This is just the fee has been agreed. He's set for a medical and a contract signing, which when that'll happen, I don't know. The international games are over now. Germany's ended yesterday. 2 days ago, they ended on the 8th. England's just finished today. I think there's just been a lot of waiting for the right time. Now's the right time. That person on Twitter who follows the airplanes is going to be going nuts with this. It's going to be mental with that. Verbally agree. It's still not official. No, it's not official, but we can live and dream. This is a. It's not done yet, and I understand that I am probably getting a bit too overhyped about it, but it's still massive to discuss. It's still a big thing. No. I don't know. It's nuts. Medical is being touted as the coming hours by Sasha. That's weird. That's a late. That's a late. I thought they would have been. It would have been just like in the next day or two. Let me double check that. Tavolieri. Here we go. What's this? Florian Wirtz, one step away. That's from May. Probably not best to do that. There we go. So, worldwide exclusive confirmed. Total agreement reached between Bayer Leverkusen and Liverpool Football Club on 150 million euros package as expected. Wirtz will fly in the next. He's actually coming to us today. He only wanted to join Liverpool and will sign a 5-year contract. That's. It's. I mean, look, I'm not saying that it's late or anything like that, but it's 10 o'clock at night and he's going to fly over in the next few hours for a medical. Why could this not wait until maybe they just don't, maybe they are actually nervous about someone sweeping in and trying to get him? I'm not 100% certain. That's a weird time. Unless he's just flying over and then the medical will be like tomorrow afternoon or something, or maybe the next day. But that's a weird time, I think, to be coming over for a medical that late at night. I sound like a parent, but yeah, very odd. Words Wednesday. I think that only works if you go Verts Wednesday. But it was Florian Friday, it was Frimpong Friday. Words, I'll say Words Wednesday. I like that. I think that's really good. When will we know the official answer? To be honest, I think this one will be a very quick deal done. Like, I think the next 48 hours, only because I understand he only wants to come to us and we're the ones given the option, but I wouldn't be surprised if a Bayern tried to swoop in last minute and get it done. I wouldn't be surprised if another team went for him. And yeah, that's what I was saying. I think fly tonight, medical in the morning, maybe announced in the evening, maybe tomorrow day. Like, it could be tomorrow afternoon, maybe. I don't know. I just think it's mad how quick it goes from you've agreed the fee, quick, get over here, get the medical done. Like, this could actually be in the next 48 hours announced, and then we've wait weeks and weeks to actually see him play because preseason starts like early July, so we've got about 4 weeks, just under. Like, that's going to be the grimmest wait ever, having to actually wait for him to feature in a Liverpool shirt. Anyone who's watching as well, please make sure to like and subscribe. There's a good number of you watching at the minute. We're on 82 at the minute, which is absolutely mental. So yeah, everyone click like and subscribe. It really does help out. Where does everyone think that he's actually going to play in our midfield? Because I gave away midfield. Like I said, I thought false nine was going to be the one for the longest time. But if we're getting linked with Ekatike and everything, I'm not 100% certain where that leaves this whole false nine narrative pretty much burnt to death in the bin. Web says false nine. Look, he can do it. He's capable of doing it. I said it. There's definitely a possibility that if we need to rotate and we do need him in that position, he can do. I did the video on it a few weeks ago. His stats actually rival that of Firmino from 2019-20. Not saying he's the same level, obviously, but he can do it. He's a great distributor of the ball. He's someone who's very good running with it. I just don't see it being our long-term solution when Slot said himself he wants goals from midfield. And Wirtz, we've seen at Bayer Leverkusen, he feeds off having someone in front of him and wide players. And I think having him in midfield will probably help his distribution. You're going to have Frimpong overlapping. You're going to have Kerkez overlapping. The deeper he is, so to speak, he's got more options. I would like to see him as a false nine, but I just think you are maybe losing something a little bit if that does happen. The thing is, news is breaking now. Who's to say that the fee wasn't agreed early today and he's already in the country? That's a great shout again. Maybe. I mean, Germany, like I said, they finished their games 2 days ago. That was the 2-0 win over. Oh, no, sorry. They lost 2-0 to France. So maybe he might have flew over yesterday, but I feel like with the level of scrutiny that's on social media these days, and like every detail is the planes are tracked, the whereabouts are basically tracked. So there's a car there that's a certain brand that they use. He's got to be in that. I feel like it would have came out already that he was in the country. And I know there was a picture someone put up of him in John Lennon Airport, but I think that was a fake one. I think that was photoshopped or something. I don't know. He might have been, but I don't know. False nine would be throwable. We don't have a world class number nine. We don't, but I think that's why we're getting Ekatike, or we're going for Ekatike, and we're being linked with the likes of Alvarez and Isak, like we have been for weeks. I think Wirtz is an option if you need them there, but I think he's going to be midfield. We will go after someone who's an out and out striker. And the longer time is going on, the more I'm convinced that we're going to keep Diogo Jota as the backup. I don't think we're going to move there, because if we're losing Elliott as well, there's going to be an even bigger need for a midfielder. Curtis Jones's future, I don't think, is solidified. Even Szoboszlai, like, I would not be 100% shocked if Slot decided to get rid of him. Not that I'm saying he's bad or at all. I think he's class, but I would not be shocked if he was another one that Slot maybe said in the next year or so, you can move on. We're losing midfielders this summer. I think moving Wirtz into false nine, who isn't a traditional attacking, like he isn't your forward player, you're losing something there, and I think you're making more issues for yourself. But he can do it. I've defended it, and I think he could. But yeah, I'd say false nine, double 10 with Zobo off the left if Diaz goes. Attacking mid if we sign a striker. That last one will probably be my thought process as well. But my only thing is I would be dropping Szoboszlai for Wirtz. I would not be dropping Alexis McAllister for Wirtz, because I think McAllister offers that bit more in the double pivot alongside Gravenberch. He's better on the ball than Szoboszlai. I think he's the best of the two. And Wirtz feels more like him alongside McAllister. I feel like we'll have more control of games than we will if Szoboszlai is alongside Wirtz. I just think that they're the two that are more likely to switch. I can't see a world where McAllister gets dropped at the minute. He's too important. Like, that's why he needed the rest at the end of the season, because he constantly plays. He's in pretty much every single match he's playing in, because he's just so important. And I think if any midfielder of Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister is likely to get dropped, I imagine Dominic Szoboszlai would be the one most likely to go. His versatility is an asset, especially for Slot, as he would like to change formation according to the situation. Yeah, and we've shown this season that we are very much a side who are capable of adaptation. When we played City, we understood they were going to have a lot of the ball, so we had to just sit back and defend. We understood that we were in a situation where we couldn't outpress them and we couldn't outrun them, and we just needed to give them the ball. And we sat back and defended and hit them on the counter. When we played Tottenham, there was a lot more space at the back. We were able to go a bit more gung-ho and a bit more attack-minded. We adapt to situations, and having Wirtz there is the same the same type of thing. He's so adaptable, and he's going to give us a myriad of different ways of playing. If you want him as that false nine and you want Salah more in the game, you can put Wirtz there. If you want a bit more control in midfield, you can put Wirtz there. If you don't like the options we have on the left, you can move Wirtz out on the left. Maybe you can move Diaz in the middle. There's so many different options. And that's the thing you're getting with Florian Wirtz. And people will say, like Chelsea fans will say, well, you ripped us for Caicedo spending this much money. Caicedo can play one position and that's it. Florian Wirtz, you're spending 150 million euros on someone who can play anywhere you need him to a capable level. Caicedo, you signed a lot of money on him because he was young and he came from Brighton where they've got a great system. So you thought, yeah, this will work. And this season it has worked. But Florian Wirtz, for this money, for the age he is, 22 years old, proven international German player who's won a league title with Bayer Leverkusen, their first Bundesliga title in an invincible season, winning the Bundesliga of the player Bundesliga player of the season 2 seasons in a row, while picking up the number of goals and assists that he has for the past 4 years. The youngest Bundesliga player to reach 5 goals, 10 goals. Bayer Leverkusen's youngest appearance maker and goal scorer since Kai Havertz. We're spending so much money on this player, but you're getting more from him than you would from a Caicedo or an Enzo Fernandez. There's versatility, goal scoring threat, ball possession, someone who can create for other players, someone who's capable of playing a false nine or midfield or on the wing. It's not someone who's half-arsing it. It's someone who is full force European top quality, and we've beat Bayern Munich to him, and we've beaten Real Madrid to him, and we've beaten City to him, and every other big side across Europe that's been looking at signing Florian Wirtz, we've gone out and we've absolutely smashed it. And we've proven that we're not going out this season and resting on it. We're not doing like we did last time we won the league and we signed a backup left back and we signed a striker that we didn't necessarily need. And we brought in a midfielder who was already broken from his time at Bayern Munich in his 30s. This is us signing someone of world-class top-level potential and ability. He is a proven European top-quality midfielder with title-winning experience in a Xabi Alonso Bayer Leverkusen team that went invincible and almost did a treble, apart from losing one game that season in the cup final. Like, if anyone says that we're not serious and that we're not spending the money now, you're talking shit, because this is massive. And signing Frimpong, who's one of the most sought-after fullbacks in European football as well, and Kerkez, who was the best left-back in the Premier League last season, alongside Florian Wirtz, that's a mental transfer window, and you're rivaling like the 2000s transfer window when we signed the likes of Sami Hyypiä. You're rivaling the transfer window from 2 seasons ago. You're rivaling 17, 18. Like, there's so many great transfer windows that we've had in the Premier League era. This could be up there with the best, and we're still only in the first week of it. Like, this is how mental it's been. There's been talk about Szoboszlai prefers the 8, which is why he played there against Brighton. Could have a situation where Wirtz, Sobo, Maka, and Kurtz are all fighting for 2 positions, and I think we will. And that's the way it's got to be. I think you want to win more than just the one trophy in a season. You need a squad. You need players who can come in and not notice a difference. That's why Keane Kelleher does not get the credit he deserves, because when Alisson came out or got injured, Kelleher would come in, you wouldn't notice a dip in quality. You need those squad players who are ready-made to come in and take over from your key first-team players. If McAllister's not in, I want someone who I know is capable filling in the role for him, not with such a massive gulf in quality. And it's no disrespect to Curtis Jones, and it's no disrespect to Harvey Elliott, but there is a noticeable decline when they come in, when McAllister goes out or Szoboszlai comes out. You need people who are of the highest quality to come in and replace them, because you can't keep the same team game after game after game after game. It does not work. We saw this season, we saw last season, when we started to get to the end, we tired out and players looked absolutely fucked, and we went out this time round and we're bringing in depth, and we're going to lose the likes of Elliott and we're going to lose Nunez and we're going to replace them because that's what we do. But we need a capable squad, especially if we're going to be going for more than just the Premier League. This season coming up, we're not just going for the Premier League. We're going for a multitude of trophies, and we're going to compete on all fronts going forward. Like I said before, we're going after number 7. We're going after number 21. We're going after number 11. We're going for every trophy that we possibly can with some of the best players across Europe joining us, and it's only going to get better. How do you think Slot will balance the appearances of Frimpong and Bradley? My prediction earlier on, I've said it on a couple of things. I think Bradley starts initially, and as we start becoming more attack minded, maybe we need to break teams down. That's when Frimpong will come in. The flip side to that is Frimpong is the big money, big name signing. He does probably need the game time to embed himself into the team. If this was Jurgen Klopp who was having it, I think that we wouldn't see Frimpong for a good number of weeks as he integrates into the squad. I think Frimpong probably does get the initial nod, and we'll see Bradley come in more in the games where you need to sort of grind it out and not be as attack minded. I think he's the better defender than Frimpong. I think he'll be the one who comes into the games when you need to grind out the results. You just need a bit more solidity at the back. Frimpong will probably start the season though. That'd be my rationale. And don't forget, we've still got Champions League next season. We're still going to be in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. It's a great problem to have when you've got two really, really great right backs having to rotate. It's a problem that City have had for years. It's a problem we've had this season with left back. It's a good problem. It's not even a problem. It's a good thing that we have these two great right backs. They'll get game time. Frimpong's probably the more Champions League. He feels like someone who'd thrive in the Champions League against teams who are going to be a bit more open. Bradley's someone who's probably going to be, I don't know, against the more attack-minded teams of the Premier League. He's probably going to be used a bit more. He's a bit more defensively sound. That'd be my thought. He's just signed a new contract, so he's not going anywhere at the minute. I think he knows that there's competition, and he's just going to have to... It's going to be like when Trent was there. Slot's not afraid to rotate. We saw that. We saw it with Robertson and Tsimikas this season. He's happy to rotate his fullbacks, and I think you've got to when you've got this many on the books. Also, Frimpong and Wirtz being best mates also helps because it eases the bedding in period. Not sure what Wirtz's English is like, but having a player that understands what Wirtz wants is huge. It's mental. And we've also got to understand as well that Frimpong and Wirtz came to the AXA a few months ago. They've seen the facilities, and we were definitely playing some sort of 4D chess by doing that. We thought about this, and the bedding in process is going to be so easy because Frimpong's got the likes of Gakpo and Van Dijk and Gravenberch. There's already like a Dutch nucleus there. Having Wirtz come in, it's like having your group of friends and then you bring one of your other friends along and say, oh yeah, this is everyone. There's a real core group there that connect, and I think Wirtz's integration into the squad is going to be a piece of piss because Frimpong's going to help him out with it. You've got senior lads who, don't forget, I've seen a lot of players come and go. Van Dijk's been at this club for a long time. Salah's been at this club for a long time. Alisson's been at this club for a long time. They've seen multitude of players come and go. I think the bedding in process is going to be a piece of piss for them both. And then Kerkez as well. You've got him. You've got Szoboszlai, that international connection there. It's going to be smooth. And the fact that we've been in discussions with these lads for weeks on end is a really, really good omen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that the fee has been agreed because it's not even so much I'm excited about the transfer. I'm just excited that I'm not having to have another day of, oh, Liverpool are close to signing Wirtz. Liverpool are close to getting the deal done because I was bored of it. I was so bored of every single day. New update, and it was nothing. There was no further development. There was nothing brand new being brought to the discussion. It was always Florian Wirtz's preference is to come to Liverpool. Okay, great. We knew that a week ago. What else can you tell us? Oh, well, come back tomorrow. Just the deal's close, and now it is. Now it's actually been agreed. It's just what's next after Wirtz and Kerkez because it doesn't feel like we're finished. We're not. We're definitely not. And I'm going to shoot off in a minute, guys. But no, we're not done. This is the first 10 days of the summer window, and now it's shut. We're on deadline day already, like 35 minutes away. I think it is until it shuts. Like, deadline day is still going on. It closes for a week or two, and then it comes back. It reopens. This is the first week, and we've already signed. And again, I just want to emphasize that Wirtz isn't signed yet. Jeremy Frimpong, one of the best attacking right backs, full backs, players in Europe. A Bayer Leverkusen title-winning player from the Invincible team has joined us on a Klarna deal where we've sold Trent for 10 million. Nice one, Madrid. And we're also selling Kelleher. We've sold Kelleher for 12.5 million to 18 million. Basically, Frimpong is paid for the next 2 years. Bargain. Milos Kerkez is around 40 million pounds. The best left back from the Premier League last season. Very young at 22 years old, who can be with us for the next decade if he wants to be, in a similar vein to Andrew Robertson. That's incredible. And then Florian WIrtz, and I've said it about 50 times during this already, and I think people will be bored of hearing it. One of the best European players out there, a otherworldly level of talent at the age of 22 or 23, can't quite remember, but he's scored 16 goals and 11 assists last season. A man who has won nearly a treble with Bayer Leverkusen in an invincible season, only losing one game. Like, he's Bayern Munich, the German powerhouse who every single German player supposedly dreams of playing for, wanted him, and he told them no. That's how much we have absolutely battered this season. Next season, in a couple months, we're going nowhere. We are absolutely flying because this is mental and massive for us. This is as big of a statement signing that you can possibly make. And City will get Cherky for 35 million and say, "Oh, we've got the better deal." You haven't. You really, really haven't. Get Aiton Yori all you want. Get you Reinders all you want, because we're getting Wirtz and we're getting Kerkez and we've got Frimpong and we're linked with Ekatike and Alvarez and Isak and all these top quality players. And we've got Mamadashvili coming in goal. We are the powerhouse of England now at the moment. And next year, we're pushing for every single trophy that we can, and I cannot wait to see it. The transfer window did shut at 7 o'clock as well. I got confused. I wasn't paying too much attention to it because it's purely open for the people who have all the money in the world to be able to bribe to get the window open for them before the Club World Cup. Even though, when we were in the Club World Cup years ago in 2019, we had to play Aston Villa literally a couple hours beforehand. Like, fucking get a grip. This window is just to locate the Club World Cup. We're able to work on our deals without that being in the way. Whereas City and Chelsea are struggling due to it. Well, that's their problem. Don't piss and moan that you can't get your signing done because you're flying off to the Club World Cup. If you want to be the best team, like City say, you've got to be in the competitions. If you can't sign people, that's a you problem, because you've been able to sign people when you shouldn't have been able to sign people for the past few years. You literally did it in January, spending 200 million quid. So if you're going to cry and moan that you can't sign people because you're at the Club World Cup, that's a you issue. Not my concern, to be honest. Fun fact about that Leverkusen team: lost 2 games that calendar year, the UEL final against us at Anfield. They did, and we absolutely twatted them at Anfield. And I think that's a big, big, big moment. That was a turning point that really showed Wirtz and Frimpong just what we are about. And I think there was inklings that Alonso was going to be leaving. You've got a lot of their top players. I know Jonathan Tah's left to go to Bayern Munich. Again, another example of someone in the German league who thinks Bayern Munich's the be-all and end-all. It's not. We are not a journey club now. We are the destination club. People want to come to us and stay with us because we are the best team in English football history. We are the best team in the past year. And when we've signed Salah on a new deal, we've signed Van Dijk on a new deal. We've got Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz coming in. It's fucking, honestly, yes, come on, lad, buzzing. Kerkez next, Slot is cooking again. Fucking too right. This whole club at the minute is cooking. with I can't put it into enough words how happy I am to be a Liverpool fan, to support this amazing club, because we're signing these players. And you know what? There's people who will sit there and say, oh, well, we've lacked ambition and we've not gone out. We should be spending this money every season. And I get it at points. I want to see more from us. I want to see more ambition. I want to see us go out and sign the best of the best and compete and go after the likes of, like, if you go back for the past year, just the first one that popped in my head is Marmoush. I want to see us rival to sign players like that. I want to see us go after your Alexander Isaks and your Tenalis and all these amazing top quality players year on year. But the fact is, we don't and we can't. But if we're taking a year off, winning the Premier League, and then coming in the following season and absolutely slapping it on the table and signing these people, I'm fine taking a gap year and saving up our pocket money if it means us bringing in these players. It's absolutely top quality. This is what we're doing, and I'm so made up. What happens next year, I don't know, but I know number 21 is happening, or number 7, or both. I can't wait to see what happens. And yeah, I'm so happy we finally have the pull to sign these big players. And you know what, as well, this is before I went off on my own little, like, euphoric moment. We've paid our dues. We had to sit through the Roy Hodgson era. We had to go through the Gillette and Hicks era. We had to watch us sign people like Jay Spearing and Paul Konchesky, El Hadji Diouf, and Raul Morales, and Andrea Desena, and Christian Poulsen, and Andy Carroll, Soterios Kyrgios. All these people, we've had to sit there and watch us sign them, and Balotelli, and Lambert, and Markovic, and we've paid our dues. We have languished in 8th place and 7th place and been the constant whipping boys of the Premier League era. This has flipped. This has flipped everything. And Arsenal have tried and tried, and City have done it, to be fair. But they've, again, if you break all the rules that you want, great, watch your success. We've gone out and we've worked our way from the ground up. When Graham Souness was in charge of this club, Roy Evans tried to get it from the dirt and make it into what it is. When it wasn't working and we had the Gerard Houllier and Roy Evans season in 98-99, Gerard Houllier gave it a go. It dipped off. Benitez tried to raise it from the ground up, and the restraints of the division and the restraints of the club and the infrastructure that wasn't there dragged him back down, and we ended up spending money on utter shite for years. And now we're back on our perch and we're signing the best players in Europe again. We deserve it because we've had to go through years of shit. We've had to sit through the 2010s. We had to get to where we were today because Jurgen Klopp come in and made us now what we are in the modern game. And now, because we've built an infrastructure, because we've built behind the scenes, and we've went out and we've spent smartly and we've sold smartly and we've developed from the ground up again, we can sign these players without breaching any financial rules, without having any danger of not seeing us compete next season in the division. Like, we've paid our dues to get where we are, and now we're reaping the rewards. Bit of a passionate rant, but anyway. Happy days, this great news about this. Can't wait to see how he fits in. Reminds me when we signed Torres. I can't wait to see what gourmet football we're going to play. Mate, I think this is bigger than when we signed Torres. Genuinely, like, I knew Torres was a big name, but I never thought he was going to be as good as he got for us. I think this is bigger, and it might be the advent of social media. It might be we've got more access to seeing these players. I wasn't watching Atletico Madrid as a kid, I won't lie. This is huge, and it feels like that because we've seen every single avenue of Florian Wirtz's style of play and how he is and who he is. This just feels bigger. Not just because of the fee, but yeah. Can Wirtz get the Chiesa song if he goes? No. I think Chiesa keeps the song. It should be like a Bobby Firmino one or a Gerrard one. It should be one that just gets sung over and over and over again as a memoriam to him when he does eventually leave. Yeah, I think that should be his song because it's I love this song so much. I'm so happy on these big tracks. Does Chiesa stay in your opinion? Yeah, I said yesterday I'm 70-30 on Chiesa leaving. I think he does leave. I think he's got that sort of Jesus Navas vibe about him where some people just get acclimatized to their country and their league. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it 100%. But I think that not Florian Wirtz, Chiesa, fuck, he's on my mind. Chiesa probably does go back to Italy. I think there's more in it for him. His family's there. We'll get a good fee. He gets to play football in a more sort of in a slower division. He's more used to it. I can't see a world where he stays beyond 30%. I'd like him to. I want him to get his chance. But I think he was signed with the sole purpose of this is someone who's 10 million euro, 10 million quid. He's going to be on a long-term contract. We can easily flog him next season. Or the vice versa option, or the flip side of it was the club didn't think Salah was going to perform to the level he was or sign the new deal. We need someone who, if Salah does decide to leave or does fall off a cliff, like the signs at the end of the season before were showing, we need someone who can come in and be a ready-made, there we go kind of player, not a Ben Doak or a Cade Gordon who is going to have to develop into a first teamer. But I think Chiesa probably does go, but I can see a world where he stays. I'm so happy having this era now as an adult to just enjoy and savor these moments. Yeah, honestly, I said before, we deserve it because we had to go through I said Glenn Hoddle then, the Roy Hodgson era and the second coming of King Kenny, which just didn't work out bar the cup final, the League Cup final, the FA Cup final. We've paid our dues and we had to get to the Brendan Rodgers era where it just felt like we were a joke again. Now I can appreciate where we are because I've had to wade through so many years of shite to get to where we are. And where we are now is the best team in England. And I'm so happy that I've got a full appreciation for it as an adult. And the fact that I've gone back through history and I do it for my channel and I do it because it's a passion and I like seeing our history and where we were. And I can really, really appreciate that we've got to this point after years of turmoil and crap and so many. The occasional cup, and Istanbul is incredible, and 2006 FA Cup is incredible, and the 1995 League Cup, and all these different trophies are brilliant, but it was never sustained. We always felt like the Nearly boys, the Roy Evans 95, 96 season, Gerard Houllier 2000, 2001, Rafa Benitez 08, 09, Brendan Rodgers 13, 14, Jurgen Klopp's 18, 19, 2021. It just always felt like we were the nearly men. And I'm so happy that I can finally see us win titles and sign these players and push for the top of the division on a consistent basis. Like, it really is exciting. We had to convince ourselves that the likes of Jordan Ibe and Alberto Moreno were good enough to play for this football club. We really did. And Javier Manquillo, and we signed Balotelli to replace Luis Suarez. And that's like losing your house and then building a cardboard box to live in and think, yeah, this will do. It doesn't. We've had to go through so many years of utter despair to get to where we are. And we've had so many players come through that door. When we lost Sterling and we thought, Ibe's the answer, not a problem. When Moreno got that goal against Tottenham and we thought, oh my God, this is John Arne Riise again. Like, we've done it. We've been there. We've got the T-shirt. There's no exaggeration that this will be a success. This is going to be a successful signing, not because of money, because every single thing about it. And Liverpool's approach to transfers is so data driven and so meticulously thought out that when one does fall through the cracks and fails, it's such a rarity. Like, even in the past 10 years, like, who have we got that played under the Jurgen Klopp and the Arne Slot era? You've got just give me a minute because my mind's gone completely blank all of a sudden. Christian Benteke, yeah, that, if you're classing that as one. Oxlade-Chamberlain, even he did great, but he had that horrible injury against Rome, which derailed him. Marco Grujic, like, there's been so few. Loris Karius, yeah, fair enough, but that was what that was. When we put the meticulous approach in, it works because we're so well driven as a club. The fact is, we were always a big club. We just lost the way to show it sometimes in the past, but now the times are so bright. I need some lock in the dark. We are Liverpool. This means more, and we fucking are as well. Absolutely smashing at this transfer window, and we did. We had to wade through a lot of rubbish to be able to get to the top. Lads, the cheat code's just been inputted 100%. Chiesa and Minamino will always have a place in my heart. You know what? Minamino is a very underrated player. That cup, what he did to get us to that cup final in 2021 No, 21, 22. Really, really does go underappreciated. New video here, top 10 Liverpool conspiracy theories. That's a class one. That is really, really good. I will make a note of that right now. Top 10. There we go. When we say like what would we class as a conspiracy theory? Like everyone comment what would you class as a Liverpool conspiracy theory? Because that's a really good one. The John Glenson era, don't, because I remember you putting that yesterday and it killed me. You look younger than me, but have older memories than me. I'm 28. I don't know if that's if that sways it. I'm a very I like going back and researching the past of us, and I've done it for my videos so much now that things are just drilled in my head. For some reason, Michael Thomas is just drilled in my brain as a player who keeps coming up, and I don't know why. Like I don't know. I've just got a very sort of a memory for it. It's a really dorky thing that I've got at the minute. Rafa had a decent spine. In another world, we had better owners back then. We could have had David Villa and Silva and Danny Alves. And you know what? I did a video a few months ago where I was on about 10 players who nearly joined us. We nearly had Nemanja Vidic at one point join us. We nearly signed David Villa. We nearly signed David Silva. We were linked with Aguero. Like so many players almost come to your club. You could make a whole starting 11 out of it. It's just the way it works with football. But this is us for once. It's not a Chouameni or a Bellingham or a Caicedo or a Lavia or an Aguero or a Cristiano Ronaldo. This is us beating everyone else to this top level player because we're the best. We are just the best club. That is just the way it is. That is just the absolute way that it is. Naby, yeah. Ragnar Klavan. No, I like Klavan. I won't lie. I've got a special place for Klavan. He was never ever ever going to be top level quality. But I think he did the job. I've got no personal issue with Ragnar Klavan. I've definitely seen worse. And I think, it was cheap Klavan, wasn't it? It was like 8 million, something like that. I've got no problem with him personally. Taki just wasn't really utilised properly. Never a striker, never a midfielder, not a winger, but filled in when needed. So what I'm hearing is we've signed a forward who couldn't play in any forward position. Sure. I've got no problem with that. Conspiracy theory: Jared actually wanted to leave but felt pressure to stay due to fan backlash. I mean, yeah, I suppose that's a good one. Let me know conspiracy theories because I like that video. I think that's actually a really good one. Conspiracy theory number one: Liverpool are penny pinchers. I don't think that's a conspiracy. I just think that's truth, to be honest. But hey, I'm not going to complain. I've said a billion times, and this will see the subscriber count probably go down, and it will probably see the views go down. I'm not FSG in or out. I've personally got no major issue with the way that things are ran. I would like to see more money spent. I would like to see us go out and sign big players summer after summer, but I also understand the logistics of it. I understand that we built up a new training centre and new stands, and we had to bring in new backroom staff and new infrastructure. I do think we need to go out and sign more players on a more consistent basis who can compete with the upper echelon of Europe. But I've got no issue with the approach that we take at the moment. We are penny pinchers at the moment. I 100% get that. But sometimes people just don't join us, not because we're penny pinchers, but because we just can't compete with some of the other clubs that are around us. Like, that's just the way it is. We didn't get Bellingham, not because we weren't willing to spend, but because we couldn't compete with Real Madrid after that Champions League final. He joined them because they won that final. If we'd have won that final, we probably would have got Bellingham. You sign Bellingham, maybe we don't lose Trent. I don't know how it works. It's just a big butterfly effect. It is what it is. Fair play. I'm older. I like Klavan too. His name sounds like a villain from a Marvel movie. That photo of him and Klopp recently at that bar was, I love that picture. I like Klavan. That Burnley goal in particular was something magical, I won't lie. And then a couple more just before we shoot, because I really do need. This was only meant to be a 20-odd minute thing, but I love doing these so much. Thoughts on a striker and what kind do we need? Now, I think we need someone similar to Nunez, but who can actually finish, like, who isn't Stevie Wonder on a skateboard. we need someone who can run in behind because they're going to get chances created for them. You can have Frimpong coming inside, going out wide, putting balls back across the box. You want someone who can position himself well. You want someone quick. Nunez's issue isn't his position, and that's not a problem. It's not his movement. It's not where he positions himself. It's just his actual finishing. It's piss poor. He kicks like Oscar Pistorius. That's his issue. And I think if you sign someone like an Ekatike, who is a bit of a project, I'm not overly keen. Isak is the big one. Alexander Isak is the big one. Second, Julian Alvarez. I don't want Benjamin Sesko. Obviously, I know he's going Arsenal anyway, but he would not be he's really not my type of player personally. I just think he's a big target man. Not for me. I think Ekatike is the one we're probably going to go for, but Alexander Isak is just the ideal candidate. Someone who's good on the ball, someone who's progressive with his passes and play, but is also a competent finisher, and that's a really big thing. A Nunez that doesn't play like he's wearing a sunflower. Oh, okay, right. Conspiracy 2, Darwin Nunez actually eats crayons before. Cancelled. Darwin Nunez eats crayons before matches. He probably does. Sticks them up his nose. And you know that Simpsons episode where he's cramming them up his nose, it hits his brain? It's probably something like that. But anyway, we're going to shoot before we spiral into the Darwin Nunez thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please click like and subscribe because we're almost at 5,000, which is mental. Like, it's absolutely mental to me. Florian WIrtz, here we go. He's actually agreed a fee. Medical will be in the next few days. Let me know in the comments what you think about this deal. Do you think we're overspending? Do you think it's good money? Do you think it's a good deal for us? I think it's nuts, and I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next